Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Dogbo333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, the 1,000-Week Reich, as the Republic of, the state, of Israel. Last video, we made some headwinds in normalizing relationships with the new German government. We're going to see if we can get some money out of them. In the meanwhile, we've minimized about all the damage we can do from our isolation. And, yeah, we're just going to kind of let things kick off, really. We're gonna see if we can. Well, actually, might look at this. It doesn't look. It doesn't look like I can pursue a reconciliation policy currently, which is a little unfortunate. Huh. It's kind of a pickle we're in on what to do. Snuck my microphone over. That would not be good at all. We could do an island in the ocean. I think we'll see what we can do. We'll see how the reparations go first, because we want to stabilize our economy first things first. Hey, America, you wanna do something about this guy over here? He's kind of going crazy right now. We gotta. It's a little concerning, man. Romania's joined the economic, whatchamacallit. Alright, what do we want to get working towards? Main battle tank. Military engineering. Could do advanced artillery. Yeah, let's get advanced artillery. That'll be ready by the time any conflicts kick off. How can we even begin to ask of reparations? So much was taken from us, our homes, our families, our history. No amount of money could even begin to make up for the atrocity that were committed against us. To some, even considering accepting reparations from Germany would be to send the message that we have put the worst atrocity in human history behind us. Still, we must be pragmatic. Our young nation is in dire need of economic aid, and any potential reparations from Germany would all but end our economic trouble in the short term. Still, outside of Mapai and the Progressive Party, little support this arrangement, both the right and the far left fiercely denouncing what they deem as a national betrayal. If such a plan would be presented but rejected, the consequences for our government would be atrocious. As such, perhaps it would be wise to make sure we have the required support beforehand. Mapam's opposition to reparation would likely not be brokered unless the left-wing government were to come to power in Germany, while Mackay on the right has outright denounced any attempt to negotiate with Germany, unlikely to be swayed by anything. The general Zionists, while opposed, have been more passive and likely abstain if we were in a government with them. Meanwhile, the Haredim are likely to abstain for better or worse unless they are part of a bloc where religious Zionists will vote against. Only reliable allies are the progressives and perhaps the Yitzhak Tabakin's faction of Mapam, if they have asserted their independence. These considerations in mind, some members of cabinet have thought to delay any potential negotiations until after the next elections, hoping that a more favorable government could be elected. However, the current government's majority being razor thin, such a move could easily backfire, especially if the right were to gain strength. We will consider our options, which it doesn't sound like there's a good one currently. Well, let's work on let's just do some let's work on some arms exports or imports rather. Our stockpile still largely consists of relics from countless different armies smuggled during the War for Independence. For to transform our military into a modern one, we must look to America, the leader in military technology, for arms imports that will help us get a technological advantage over our foes. Yeah, I think this is probably the play. Launch the reprisals. The United Arab States. So Syria's joined up in that. That's very... And Lebanon, okay. That leaves me a little worried, you know. Let's enhance our firepower as well. Get anti-air and anti-tank going. Artillery is the god of war, and ours speaks in a dozen different calibers. We need the consistently crushing power of the American guns that won the Pacific. Hence, we must not let their shells be the thunder that announce our resolve to any who would test our borders. Very interesting on China's end. Chiang is still in power. I haven't seen him make it this far before. Guess we do a naval doctrine, can't we? Trader interdiction, I guess. Air doctrine. Strike aircraft. We'll get close air support there. Land doctrines. Let's look at armor. Let's do a streamlined deployment. There we go. We do anything else? It's going to be a full cost. Not that I mind that necessarily. Should probably add field engineers to there. How are we doing? We're still lacking an anti-tank. Yeah, that checks out. Oh, these guys already have engineers. Okay, that's not bad at all. Motorized recon and engineers. Ooh. In a shocking event, a grenade was lobbed into the Knesset from a nearby rooftop during a session, severely injuring Mafdal MK, Chai Moshe Shapir, as well as mildly injuring several other MKs, including Prime Minister Golda Meir. Police immediately apprehended 26-year-old Moshe Dweck, attempting to flee the scene. Dweck, who was standing on the balcony, threw a grenade he had stolen from the army into the chamber. The incident was allegedly prompted by his inability to receive national insurance from his declining health, though Joach himself had claimed that he was incited by Ashkenazi dominance of the Mizrahi people, stating that the grenade was meant for the prime minister and requesting forgiveness from Shapira. In response to the attacks, security around the Knesset has been increased, with police and soldiers being stationed around the building, as well as dedicated Shin Bet force. Condemned across the political spectrum, Joach has been deemed psychologically unbalanced and has been sent to a psychiatric hospital. What the hell? Well, that's interesting. Should I be nicer to the Mizrahi? Letting them get the better urban housings. Okay, Iraq and Jordan have united. Now we're done enhancing our firepower. Let's look at an island in the ocean. Israel stood alone since its independence, surrounded by Arab nations. Many of whom are hostile, while others are simply cold to us at best. Nevertheless, we cannot simply ignore them, and we should decide on how to our relationship with the Arab world at large should go. Should we pursue a policy of mutual cooperation and compromise, or should we build up our defenses against a region that seems to hate us? I mean, I think they all do seem to hate us, is the thing. What the fuck? You guys saw that too, right? That just happened right in front of my eyes. Holy shit. They just went commie. Well, I don't know if I have to worry about much anymore, at least. That's nice. Let's get working on the new anti-tank equipment. And, what else do we want to look at? Do helicopter engines. Towed anti-air, maybe. Well, that's going to be another thing we have to worry about building, and I'm not enthused about that. How's our construction come along? It's getting there. We'll be done in February. We could organize public works when we get more political power soon. Yeah, I really do not like this, let me tell you. Although it is nice to see Ukraine has finally been let into Europe. Our young nation is an island in all but actual geography, surrounded by hostile Arab states that seek our destruction. For our war for independence still in very recent memory, many are understandably worried about the very likely possibility of another war breaking out. The question remains, do we give in to these fears and start preparing for the inevitable, or is there a real possibility of reconciliation? The political spirit of the country has been split in the issue. Mapam, the leading voice for reconciliation, has raised the idea of using a potential alliance with India to reconcile with Arab leftists. Meanwhile, the monarchies of Levant and Egypt are heavily influenced by Britain. Perhaps an agreement with the latter could help to reconciliation with the former, although it's likely that both scenarios will have to be preceded by an improvement in our nation's treatment of the Arabs within our borders. On the other hand, what perhaps might be the majority of the populace sees these calls as a little more than childish fantasies of peaceful coexistence, mostly consisting of the right wing, but also some prominent members of Mapai, such as Ben-Gurion and Golda Meir. These followers of Jabotinsky's so-called Iron Wall will claim that peace will only be achieved when the Arabs learn to fear Israel's strength. Perhaps they are correct. So far, our past attempts at negotiations have only been met with refusal. Whatever our path may be, will surely alter the course of the Middle East as we know it. Tread carefully. Well, it looks like our only option is the Iron Wall. While some naive voices in the Knesset have argued that reconciliation won't do as good, the simple reality is that at this moment, it's not possible at all. Arab nations called for dismantlement and liberation of Palestine. at the expense of our very existence. To reinforce this, we must create a wall of steel and iron to protect our way of life. For centuries, the Jewish community of Iraq has thrived, being one of the oldest and most established Jewish communities in the world. Even in the past decades, Jewish figures such as Seshun Eskel were instrumental in the development of the modern Kingdom of Iraq. However, with the rise of modern Arab nationalism and the Arab-Israeli war, the situation has been deteriorating. Discriminatory laws have been put into place. While violence has not yet erupted on a massive scale, many Jews fear for their future in the country. For better or for worse, though, through indirect diplomacy, we've now managed to convince the Iraqi government of Muhammad al-Jamali to allow Jews to emigrate to Israel on the condition that they renounce their Iraqi citizenship, with the government unpublicly encouraging them to do so, likely to get rid of what they deem to be a resistive and troublesome minority. With limited cooperation with the Iraqi government, many Iraqi Jews have coalesced in Baghdad, provided flights to Cyprus, and then to Israel on flights operated by El Al. Despite this, there still remains some portion of the Jewish community which has decided to stay, deeming the current situation not extreme enough to warrant leaving. It remains to be seen if things will only get worse from now on. Bring them all home. Yeah, I mean, the Hashemite monarchy is pretty generous, especially when you go that route. So I don't blame them necessarily for not, the bell's not ringing to get the hell out. I guess let's work on some decryption. There's also radio, I guess. Time and time again, it's been proven to us that the Arabs only respect force. As if our betrayal in the hands of Abdullah shortly before our War of Independence, we must always remember that our enemies will use any weakness we show to destroy us completely. Peace with the Arabs will come when and only when they respect our strength, as we stand atop an iron wall they cannot breach. Any attempted reconciliation are foolish at best and dangerous at worst. At the moment, we should only be concerned with strengthening ourselves at all costs, preparing for the next war that will inevitably come. And when it does arrive, we will show that the Arabs that it is them that should be begging for peace. Might makes right. Well, let's try to do the periphery strategy. It seems like we are surrounded by enemies, but there are those who are not Arab, maybe willing to work with us. Turkey and especially Iran are two of those countries. Equally concerned about the Arab countries, with Mossad reporting that we may have shared interest. An alliance amidst common rivals may turn the strategic encirclement against those who seek to strangle us. See, that could be helpful, useful even. Oh, we can deploy some new units finally. Heck yeah. Welcome to the club, soldier. These are our good units, I think, right? Commanding officer. Okay, we can promote guys. I didn't realize you can promote commanding officers. That's cool. Is that Elon Musk? God fucking damn it. Well, we have some Yemenis coming in. Send them to the periphery. Speaking of the periphery, one of the recent diplomatic talks, the Iranian government has announced to join the so-called Alliance of Periphery, denouncing government's colonialist puppets and refusing any cooperation with us. Damn them. But we got Turkey. In recent diplomatic talks, the Turkish government has indicated its willingness to join the so-called Alliance of the Periphery. Despite being a Muslim-majority nation, Turkey has long been at odds with the Arab states in the Middle East and has sought to establish itself as a dominant power in the region. Effectively, our government will be cooperating to counter Arab influence in the Middle East, much to the dismay of the Arab states. Like, new friends are always welcome. I will happily take that. We could expand border raids. I don't think I want to fuck with that too much right now, though. Let's do some welfare for immigrants. Those who arrive at our borders for shores for refuge often come with nothing, having been forced to flee, barely able to save their own lives, let alone anything else. To rebuild their lives and become productive citizens of Israel, they must be helped back on their feet. Therefore, we will raise funds for welfare programs for newly arrived refugees. The cost on our budgets will be well worth the improvements to the lives of the new arrivals and the long-term benefits to our country. Okay, we got some Iraqis coming in. Mitzvah state stream of Olim arriving from the world. We have Iraqis. With the recent anti-Jewish violence in the country having shocked many, the once prestigious Jewish community of Iraq has been quick to make preparations to flee the country. Organized by our government through indirect diplomacy with the Iraqi government, we have provided opportunities for tens of thousands of Iraqi Jews to cross the border to Kuwait and Iran, from which airlifts are taking place to evacuate them home safely. With the only question left being of where to send them. Well, to the periphery we go. You go. We're staying out. We're staying out of there. All right. Well, we have another unit deployed. It's a rough predicament we're in right now. It really is. Let's get working on the Lady Hawk. Abdullah's betrayal has only shown naive dovishness as a path towards disaster. Golda Meir's successor, Ben Gurion's hawkish outlook on foreign military policy, is more confident than ever that her vigilance was wise. And now, so are the party and the Israeli people, who will always stand ready to fight, and Golda Meir stands ready to lead us. I don't know if I agree with Golda Meir on this one. I'm going to be real. Going after Banat. I was curious when I was gonna. Holy border guard, my god. Alright, to the periphery you go. I think I'm going to set up a separate army now and get these guys popped in. Let's get my boy Yitzhak Rabin in there. Gone too soon, if you ask me. If he's the right one I'm thinking of, at least. I hope he is. Alright, we're gonna do... I have two ideas for our defense. One is gonna be in the north around here. The second, we're gonna set up... Forts, do we? I don't think so. I will do camouflage expert just in case. The second should probably we'll drop the tank with Rabin, We'll go ahead and fortify. Hold on, shit. We'll do a fallback line through here. So I'll cover our south flank. Let's do some sympathy abroad. Get some sympathy abroad, rather. A world full of countries hostile to us, including many mortal enemies, where we must be able to find friends. Prime Minister Golda Meir is a skilled diplomat and understands that Israel, a young country as it is, must quickly build ties with friendly peoples from around the world, and the best way to do so is building sympathy for Israel's plight. Emphasizing our vulnerability and the plight of our people, we will work to gain the sympathy of foreign nations and peoples so that we have friends who will stand by us in the battles to come. Not Albania. They're going out. Oh, I thought they were an Italian puppet. I was going to be very nervous for a second. Nope. Italy is doing their own thing. Are they part? No, they're not part of the ETC. That's about it, though. Yeah, reprise against them. Same old, same old. Okay, I am going to... So we have a lot. There it is. We have a lot going for us in the way of anti-tank or support equipment. So I'm going to put extra resources into... Actually, I'll start building up motorized right now. Resupply our tanks. And then possibly build up a few new ones in the meanwhile. Let's swap over to the new anti-tank equipment. It'll take us a while to catch up there, but we'll get some good progress going there, I'm sure. Let's get some radio detection going as well. I think that's going to be potentially very useful. And we'll get tanks trained up soon as well. Once... Oh, no, he's in the TA. That's nice. Sympathy abroad. Okay, I'm going to organize public works as well so we can get more construction going. Because we really need more going on there. In the meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and leave things there. But I thank you all, as always, for watching. If you like, so you like. If not, feel free to dislike. Leaving comments or feedback down in the comment section below. I read all comments again, and I do appreciate any feedback you might have for me. Check out my various links down in the description box below. Leaving comments or feedback down in the comment section below. And... yeah, I will go ahead and see you all next time. Thanks for watching. And bye-bye.